Okay, so haven't seen Paul for a while. I don't know what he's up to, so I'll go check it out. Take you guys on a tour. I can hear him. Oh, it's like a new gravel path that wasn't here today. It was all grass yesterday. He was filming this path to get to the back of the composting toilet that he's putting in. And that's a lot of rocks he's dug out. Whoa, the ground here on the coast is very rocky. And I'd say he's working up quite a sweat. Wow, you nearly got my toe. Stop that, start again now.
Well, there's a big hole here. As you can see, we're digging under the container, taking all the gravel out, making some paths with the gravel. And then once I've got this hole to the depth that I want and the widths and etc., I'm going to have to put a retaining wall along there, along the back and along the side, and a concrete pad down through here. And then that's how we're going to get our composting toilet waste in and out. So our toilet's going to be here inside the container, and we're going to be able to wheel in our composting toilet container. And once that's full, we can wheel it out and go to the composting area around the corner there. So we'll have a pathway all the way down there. This will be sloped in the correct direction, so it's easy in, easy out.
Well, Duke, it's getting on. It's probably an hour since the last time we saw Paul. So let's go see what he's up to now. Sun's sort of going down. It's nearly 5. 20 to 5. Oh, build a step. That's cool. Step down onto the new path. Very cool. Hey Duke, you're not going to use the step. Let's see where he is. I think he's still digging. Better tell him it's 20 to 5 and the neighbours said come up for a beer if you want to.
Alright, I'm
at
stopping.
5. You're stopping?
You said beer.
I said beer. It's a pretty deep hole. Almost looks like a grave.
We'll dig it all the way out there so it's at the right level.
Nice. Whoops.
Wheelie bin in there.
Wheelie bin? Where your wheelie bin?
Wheelie bin down
And
there.
now we are at the neighbours
Composting over there.
having beers. After a hard day's work, having beers. There's Jill and her 2 cats. And Bob. Okay, well we've got a few jobs on the go at the moment, haven't we? We've got the water tank, which it's, you know, it'll collect water now. I just need to do the overflow. One of the reasons why I haven't done the overflow just yet is because of the toilet that we're doing here, which is a composting toilet. Oh, there goes a wicker, just jumped out of my hole that I've dug. And we're having a urine separator. So, and you know, I'm not going to beat around the bush about how we talk about composting toilets. Yeah, we're going to have a urine separator. I'll show you how that all works when I install it. There's the wicker hiding in the bush there. He's pretty friendly. He's pretty close to me right here. He's only probably 2.5, 3 meters away. But yeah, and the urine separator will have a hose coming out here and across the top there. And that will actually connect into the overflow for the tank, because that's going to help flush that away. And then further on down the line here, I say the line, we'll call it the grey water line, because there's going to be a sink in there to wash your hands after you've been to the toilet, etc. And that water will have soap in it, so that's turned into grey water. That too will have a line coming out here. So effectively what's going to happen is the drain for the sink in there will come down and connect to the urine separator drain, and those two will flush down past the water tank down in the ground here, and that overflow up there will connect on there as well. So that's going to have more fresh water coming in and flushing that grey water, making it, it's not going to be fresh, but you know what I mean, it's diluting the greyness. And then as we come down past the main structure in the back wall here, we're going to have grey water coming out from our kitchen sink, and that's going to come somewhere around about there, out here underground, and into the pipe about here from the pipes that are coming down here. So that's all going to connect in just grey water, no black water, no toilet water, other than urine, but that can go into grey water and, as I say, be diluted down by all the other waters that are coming into it. That's going to go all the way along here, and you'll see down there's a bit of a trench already. I've been working on that. Don't know if I've shown you any videos on this, but this is the where our shower water exits, grey water, and right there's going to be a sump, and that's actually going to be a grey water filtration sump. So I'll show you more on that as well. I'm actually building that as a little side project. You can buy them, but you know, the Inja Cunning Kiwi, we don't like to spend money on things, especially Dutch Scotchman heritage like mine. So yeah, a grey water filtration system there, so that's all coming to this point here, and a nice big grey water filtration system at that point there, and then it's going to come down this pipe, and then there'll be another grey water filtration system down here. So that one back there is going to pick up food scraps and bits and pieces, and I'll be able to pull out a basket and take the food scraps over to the composting area over there, and then the remaining water coming through that filter will come into this ditch here, and we're going to put filtration cloth down there, and then put big gravel chunks of stones all through there, so the water can still flow all the way down, but it will also seep down into the ground there, but it will flow out into this paddock area here, where we will be planting fruit trees and bits and pieces down in there. So the grey water is effectively going to be feeding the fruit trees after it's gone through a couple of filtration processes. It's been another beautiful day here on the coast.
So today we've both got our gumboots on, gathering water and mixing concrete. Better go rescue from mixing it. Lucky we've got some gravel on site, and also our own creek to gather the water from. And Paul is a manual concrete mixer.
Making it a very sloppy mix so that I have plenty of time to work with it.
Another calm day on the coast today. Had a few frosts, which they said is very unusual this year, and I've had a couple of colds. Not quite as hardy as Paul. I think I need to start having a swig of his whiskey at night. If he'll share where the door's going to go. Don't want to muck that up. She's a pretty big job. That's where our toilet, compost toilet and battery storage washing machine are going to go.
That's a momentous occasion. Thanks Tony from up the road for loaning me this 9-inch grinder. Cut it out in no time. Oh, I might be shouting up. Alright, well, we have cut out the door and started framing up the wall for the back of the container. So in the meantime, I'm just going to frame it up, put ply right over it, but there's a doorway allowed for it in there because this is effectively going to be a wee hallway
coming into the container here, this is going to be a hallway, and you walk in
House and
there'll be a utilities room in here.
Now down in there is where the composting toilet is going to go, so I'm going to have to cut a hole in the floor down there, and underneath there you've also seen me digging etc outside, getting ready for the composting unit to go in there.
Yeah, so it's going well.
Some of the things we need is this bucket. Now you're going, oh no, you're not going to poo into that, are you? And you're right, I'm not. But this is one of the things that I'm going to use to create the composting toilet.
And just to prove that we're not going to be pooing into the bucket, I'm going to cut the bottom of the bucket out. Easy, so just like that, I've cut the bottom off this, how many litres is it? 45 litre garbage bin. Yeah, empty. So there's no, you know, we're not going to be touching that. However, what I am going to do is, this is going to be like a spout, and the seat's going to go up here. I'll show you that shortly.
So I've cut the spout, and that is going to be placed in the centre of the toilet room. And then I'm going to cut the see very well down there. And that's the whole purpose of the black bin. I'm going to cut a hole the same size as the base here in the floor of the container. Okay, now I've marked where the hole has to be. There's 2 circles there. The outer circle is what I have to leave on so that I can screw the bucket down to it. And the inner circle is what I'm cutting out for the drop through. And there we have it, the hole is cut out. That was a pretty tough job for my little Black & Decker jigsaw that I've had for years. But yeah, there's the main hole that's going to go down into the composting bin. Okay, well I don't know if you can see this, but I've used this Seeker Black Seal. It's like a bitumen waterproof membrane, and I've gone right round the cut out of the timber in the floor of the container. A couple of coats on that. The second coat on now, and I'm going to put the the barrel over the top of this now and screw that in place, because while that second coat is still wet, it's quite sticky stuff, so that'll form a nice little seal for me as well, stop any draft. Now, once again, I really don't know if you can see this, but what I'm doing here is I've got my screwdriver, and I've got these flathead screws here. Look at all the cuts on my hands. Yeah, and I screw these down through the lip of the bin. It's an old rubbish bin, 45 litre rubbish bin, and screw all the way around there. You're not going to be able to see this while I'm doing it, so I'll show you the end result. Alright, so that's screwed in now. And you can see those screws all around the edge. I've gone right around the edge, and you can see the mold seal just popping out the outside of it a little bit there. That's the bitumen mix. So she's well and truly glued down and screwed down. Now you look down the hole and you can see a bit of a lip there, just here there. Now you might think, well, things will drop onto that. No, they won't, because here's the urine separator that goes in the top of the lid there, and so that's taped in at the moment, but that's the drain pipe for the, I should have done that earlier. Anyway, there's a wee drain pipe hole there, and what's going to happen there is this pipe here is going to go down here and get screwed on to that lip there, like that, which means that that pipe's going to end up there, and the urine separator is going to send the urine down that pipe and out to where we want it to go. Pretty cool, eh?